Oh, hello.
Got a light?
No, sorry.
Is it Sherlock Holmes who lives in these digs here?
Indeed.
Know him?
I do have that honour. I have been of some assistance to him on occasion. Like locating hansoms, for instance.
I say, you're his valet. So tell me, does your master pay well then?
But
I bet you're not above winning a bob or two, am I right? Listen, my friend, word has it that your boss is going to have a right fright tonight at the Picture Museum.
How?
Shh, listen, my good man. If you want to fill your pockets, here's my card. Piers Urquhart Allen, that's my name. Independent reporter's the game. Spill the beans about his biz, and I'll pay you well. Look for me in one of the pubs round here. You can't miss me.
If Holmes finds out that the press is onto this business, he'll be in an explosive mood. Best to avoid speaking about it.
Yes. Piers Urquhart Allen. Wrong way round. Independent journalist. Right. Though it's quite interesting, like, oh, we want to find out what he does. It's like, you do realise that Watson publishes stories, or has them published, about what happens.
Ah, a hansom. Now to find Holmes and make our way to the National Gallery.
Oh, I didn't need to go and find him.
You've arrived at last, Holmes. We haven't touched anything while we were waiting, except for a ladder which we needed to climb onto the roof.
Curses.
You must have received my message. The painting was stolen.
Right. What happened?
Do you have any idea what happened?
Well, not really. I haven't managed to figure it out. We know that the two men exited through the window in the restoration workshop, and that the second man entered through there. But the first man was already in the museum, before his accomplice. Yet I had a man in the restoration workshop all yesterday afternoon, and he only left for a minute in order to hear my orders.
The Frenchman.
At no time could the first man have entered through the window. We would have either seen or heard him. The men on the premises confirmed they didn't see anyone pass through the entrance until the alarm was sounded. And those two are the only possibilities. How did this man get into the museum, I ask you?
The Frenchman.
When you have eliminated the impossible, Lestrade, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
The facts.
Did your men see anything?
To tell you the truth, barely anything. There was nothing they could do. The only thing we know for certain is there were two people of athletic build who perpetrated this crime. We don't know if the burglars stole anything other than the painting in question, as they completely redecorated the museum with the paintings of a French artist that were at the entrance to the museum. The paintings that were on the walls are now crammed in the director's office.
Right. And the director?
Where are the director and his assistant?
They're both in the office. Go gently with the director. He's close to having a fit. By the way, I noticed some traces of paint or something all over. I've asked everyone to avoid trampling on them until you've had a chance to examine them.
You're making wonderful progress, Lestrade.
Thank you.
Well, I'll go question the neighbours to see if anyone might have seen a 17th century boat descend from the roof.
Probably a ship.
Watson, accompany Inspector Lestrade. Check out the roof and help out with the interrogations. Be on the lookout for the slightest detail could gain us some precious time.
You can count on me, Holmes.
I assume that it was actually a ship, but rather than a boat, and
It's a combination lock, a French brand. It looks extremely solid. Impossible to open it without knowing the combination.
I don't think it was there last time. It's like yesterday. I think he was in here. Got in here. Closed it. Didn't have put the lock on so he couldn't get it, so that he could then get out. Got out. All the shenanigans happened. And then he departed. Should of course examine the scene. Ah. Nonsense colour things.
The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aestheticism, and he succeeded.
Looks rubbish.
What horrors!
This is the British National Gallery. What art do they have?
Hideous, this painting. A round red frame with some green in the middle. The inspiration behind this canvas is rather queer. Velmont has unusual taste for a painter.
Alright, it's Velmont. Did he... Oh, he did replace the other Velmonts.
What horrors!
Right, but the paint. There was traces of paint around.
There is something here.
Oh, yeah.
These 4 traces of black rubber are identical and form a square.
He also said there was traces of there were traces of paint around. See if we can see them. Maybe they're on the floor, or they could be on the walls. Huh. If I get
Size 10.
size 10. What about this one?
Size 10.
They are different shoes though. Can't do widths, but okay. So width that's 7. Okay, so maybe it's roughly the same shoes. And I can't measure height apparently. Maybe I can, because it's a different distance there. But no, apparently not.
These footprints are those of common work boots.
Oh, you can see the nails. Yes.
It's through there that one of our robbers arrived, and it's also through there that they must have escaped with the help of a ladder.
Okay. Is there a ladder lying around?
Ideal to catch by jumping from this skylight.
See where they lead, because they don't lead directly to the English section, do they? Where do they go? They go...
Tracks come from the interior of the museum and stop there. It's curious, but I'd wager that the man who left these footprints rested here a moment while facing the wall and looking at something. Yet these paintings aren't exceptional in the least.
And they just stop here. Maybe he wiped them? But they just stop. There's no further...
French manufacture with a distinctive design. These are, without doubt, the shoes of the French painter Horace Velmont.
Yes. So these are all the other paintings, are they?
I'm overwhelmed by this inventory.
Alas.
Can I borrow this lamp?
Unfortunately not. This room is poorly lit and we need it to work. Perhaps a bit later.
Why would I want the lamp? Okay.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, such a tragedy. Have you seen what these crooks have done to my museum? Paintings of incalculable value thrown in a heap like hay in a haystack. And the Fighting Temeraire.
I'm intrigued. I didn't think they would have piled them up like that. I think they would have treated them with a bit more respect, 'cause it's still art. I don't know. I don't know anything about Arsene Lupin, so maybe I'm wrong. Right. The theft.
Now, calm down, Director. Do you know if they took anything other than this painting?
The director and I are in the middle of doing an inventory of all the paintings that were moved. We are not certain yet.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. We'll be here if you have any further questions. Come, Palinor, back to the inventory.
Not helpful in the slightest. It's gonna be one of the golds. I'm guessing this is the next clue, as it were. But I don't know what this could be.
It's a combination lock, a French brand. It looks extremely solid. Impossible to open it without knowing the combination.
Oh, we don't have any idea of what that could be at the moment, do we? Why are there squares? Is there anything in here of interest? Yeah, well, the blue ones aren't going to be marked, are they?
I have no reason to go there.
No, I didn't think you would. I didn't look in the French section, did I? Oh, I did, but not particularly thoroughly.
Self-portrait by Horace Velmont. A bit narcissistic, that one.
The Horace Velmont section, that's your relative. Sure, that's a complete coincidence. Right, ooh, the box room. The box room. We haven't looked in here yet.
It's too dark in here. I don't see anything.
That's why we need the lamp. Right, okay. I won't be able to get the lamp because it'll be too dark. And they'll be like, grrr. I can't get the lamp, can I?
Borrow this lamp?
Unfortunately not. This room is poorly lit, and we need it to work. Perhaps a bit later. What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Nothing.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good.
Can't do anything. Palinor?
I'm overwhelmed by this inventory.
Okay. So we need to find more paint. I wonder if I could. Oh, I could measure that. That'd be good, possibly. Don't think we can measure this. It's probably too big.
A large red square was painted on the floor, most likely by Lupin. But to what end? Is there a way of lifting this up? Right, so we can't get into the box room. It's too dark. Let's have another look in here, shall we? Are there any things in here with plastic feet that are roughly square? Water.
Okay. Not sure how that's useful.
These tools are for restoring paintings.
Right, yes. That's what this room is for. Is there like a way I can steal a lamp from another light from somewhere? It would be rather pointless to have to take a light to give the light to the director and Pellinor, just to get a light from them,
Closed.
so that I can go into the box room.
Footprints, look.
Right, thank you. I knew this.
Size 10.
Yes, of course. Oh, but these are different shoes.
This footprint is quite clear, like a footstep pressed. This footprint is rather light. The man who left these footprints made a return trip. He was carrying something heavy when he climbed the stairs. Paintings, certainly.
That'd be the various coloured paintings, wouldn't it? Size 10.5 footprints of the man who stepped in some paint in the restoration workshop curiously stopped at the right hand side of the museum entrance, the part where the piece of least interest are exhibited, which is going to be the paintings of this Horace Velmont figure, who is not Horace Velmont.
What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Why,
Thank you, gentlemen.
why can't I ask him what was there? Can I ask you?
I'm overwhelmed by this
Oh.
inventory.
Surely it would make sense to be able to ask. Yeah, so what was here? I don't think there was anything actually around here in particular. But he starts walking back. Okay, I can actually see return ones now. But he's doubling up his footwork. But he doesn't go back up this way. If you notice, he just kind of, he gets here and then his footprints stop. Which is somewhat frustrating. Because the paint hasn't gotten anywhere. Did I see a bit of colour on one of these walls or something?
The Scale of Love by Jean-Antoine Watteau. Born in
Which
1684,
one?
died in 1721. French painter, one of the first in the Rococo style, inspired by the Commedia dell'arte, who loved to depict theatre and festivities in his paintings.
So that's that one. No,
Closed.
of course it is.
Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the famous French cheese camembert. They both stink.
What horrors.
The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aestheticism, and he succeeded.
No comment on the fact that all the Horace Velmont, the real Horace Velmont paintings have been removed.